Right, so this is just a quickie video to kind of give you guys a better view of the board. So I cut the original frame rails off and TIG welded these widening rails on, and I took a chance, really took a chance that the original rails weren't 70-75 because you can't weld to that. So luckily enough, they're a weldable alloy, probably 60-61, which is what the sections I added are made out of. The shock mounts here in the front, those are machined out of blocks of 60-61. I also relieved the corners here to get to the screws and the fender screws there. So, and then these gusset plates obviously are just aluminum plates TIG welded into place. So I'll tip it back so you can see the suspension arm or arms. So these are just steel prototypes. I want to replicate them out of machined aluminum. That's why I never welded and capped off the ends there. But you access the screws through those holes. But so up here, this collar, the top half of it is TIG welded to the frame and the lower half is floating. There is a needle bearing that is clamped in place there, and there is a half-inch shaft welded to the steel suspension arm that goes through the needle bearing, and that's on both sides. There's obviously the other side. Same thing. There's a split collar with a needle bearing held there and a pivot in between. So I can take this cap off on both sides, and the whole wheel and suspension arms will drop right out of the bottom. So that's the look. I machined, I don't know if you can see it, but I machined a relief in this frame rail so that the wire can recess up inside. The zip tie is temporary till I can make a retainer to hold the wire in place. Also, I'm kind of torn. This harness lead going from the battery to the controller, that theoretically would probably be better to go over the top of the suspension arm. I'll probably switch that around soon, but it's not chafing anything, but I'm afraid that it's gonna hit something. I could always make a guard, but I think I could go over the top of the suspension arm easy enough. So so that's the board. These are D&M air shocks designed for mountain bikes. And from my last ride, you can see the O-ring, the amount of movement in the shock. About half of its travel was used in my last ride, but that was just on flat pavement. I've got another, let me grab it here, a longer D&M air shock. I've got two of these shocks, they're longer. When I remake these suspension arms, I'm probably going to make multiple mount points so I can run longer shocks to give more travel, because it definitely seems like the travel, the 1 3/4 inch travel, isn't quite enough. I think 2.5 would be about perfect. So there's a view from the back. Oh, you guys would probably get a kick out of this. Quite a few years back, I made this electric skateboard from scratch. It's like a Tesla. I actually own a Performance Model 3 over there. It's like a Tesla. The batteries are in the deck. You can see a very thin deck. And made the drive units, and so just wanted to make it as Mad Max looking as possible. So there's a crazy electric bike of mine. I modified a Mountain Cycle San Andreas frame electric bike that I set up for my wife, my own drive system. So yeah, a lot of projects in the shop. But anyway, so there's my one wheel, our pint on the floor there. So yeah, it's great. I enjoy it, and I'll probably be uploading a video soon that shows it disassembled, and I can kind of show you guys a lot of the inner workings of it. Oh, I haven't weighed it, but just knowing the weight of everything that I added, individual weights, it's probably gained about 6 pounds or something like that. So anyway, thanks for watching.